Hey, what is it about people that were born in it, right? Like princes. And why do so many of them become like psychopaths?
I don't think
like
you...
throughout history.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You say first generation becomes psychopaths?
Yeah, a lot of like Saddam Hussein's sons were some of the most evil people that have ever lived. They would do horrific shit. There's stories of them kidnapping women on their wedding day, like going to them, taking them from their husband, raping them, and feeding them to their dogs.
What?
That's horrible.
Yes.
Like for real?
Yes.
Peak fetish.
Yes.
Like, that's all that's
Feeding
left.
them to their dogs.
Yeah. I think there's a sociopathy that develops, or sociopathy, however you say it, when you're so removed from any normal human interaction that you don't like ever
develop empathy.
You don't get to feel bad for people because no one shows you the bad shit. So there's no remorse to feel, I think. So you're just like, well, let's just push this as far as we can push it. This is a theory I just came up with.
Human beings have this thing where we other each other. You know, like if you're going to go to war with that group, even if it's like North versus South in America,
100%.
we can other each other.
Yeah.
And I think we could do that with anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened with the kids. I thought the kids ended up being kind of weak.
Well, sometimes, but there's a few of those instances of evil kings, right? That's like Game of Thrones. Remember
Joffrey.
He was an evil king. Like, there's a long history of young men who take over the throne from their father and they're just fucking evil.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't have the empathy because they didn't have to earn it. Like, if you come from nothing, you have empathy for all the other people who have nothing. And those kids who come from everything, why would they even feel bad?
Also, the reality of violence was accelerated back then because people were doing sword fighting. You know, they were hitting each other with bows and arrows and hacking each other to death. And so it was happening, and probably like everybody saw it.
Right.
Like the amount of laws and rules that they had back when that shit was going on. Look at the English family, the English royal families.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever see those paintings of those old dudes like from back in the day on the walls?
No, what?
You know, oh my God, they're like horrendous. They all have like distorted faces and shit because of inbreeding. Because they would only have sex with other royals.
They had all like hip problems and shit, and like their bodies were all fucked up.
But it didn't affect their intellect in any way?
Oh, it definitely did.
Yeah, it probably did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, how could they run countries?
Because they were a monarchy. They were in charge already, just like Joe Biden. I mean, you think about it. How could he run the country? You know when they talk about like people, the life expectancy, the average life expectancy used to be like 30 years old. You know what a lot of that is? It's the babies would die.
Infant death,
It's like an average, right?
That was a big part of it. A big part of it was they used to have all these fertility rituals back then. They would do fertility rituals to try, like, it was like important to make more people, and they would be worried that they would run out of people.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that wild?
So the fertility rictuals are like the community coming around to make sure that you have a baby?
Well, there's just so much infant death that they're like, yo, let's have as many kids as possible because so many die, we might run out.
Yeah, it could have been like that they had dances or myths or stuff like that.
Is Elon compromised?
What does that even mean?
Well, I don't want to say compromised. Like, well, no, wait,
he might be compromised by the aliens.
Yeah,
because he was a little easy to dismiss aliens. He goes, if they're real, they're very subtle.
Yeah, he didn't want to go into it at all.
Well,
I didn't like his pyramid stuff either.
One of the reasons why maybe, just like from a pragmatic perspective, guy does one podcast with me, I get him to smoke weed, his stock drops, you know, NASA's mad at him.
Same thing.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
And then he bounces back and everything's fine. Dude runs 5 fucking companies.
Yeah.
For him, it'd probably be really convenient if aliens just stay the fuck out of his way.
Yeah.
He's got shit to do down here. Like if they land, it's gonna ruin everything. Like if the aliens land, you know what kind of chaos it would be? You think it's bad right now with the Republicans versus the Democrats? Like what happens when the aliens land? Do you know what an eater robot is?
They don't got guns or nothing?
What is that?
An eater robot is a robot that runs on biological material.
Oh, don't make that.
That means
Those are the ones you
no,
fuck.
they've already made it. It's a robot that's powered by biological material. So I'm just saying worst case scenario.
Okay.
This is a robot that eats bodies on a battlefield.
Oh God.
To stay alive, and that's how it powers itself.
That's
now,
what you
could
think.
say. You could say no. We don't mean biological material in that way. We mean plant matter and you know dead rodents and what have you. But there's a real fucking robot that they designed that eats biological material.
I mean, who has it? The U.S. has it?
As fuel. It's called the EATR. Google it. EATR robot.
All right, now we go. Yeah.
When do you
What?
do you think aliens?
Google this thing, man. I don't think they
This is
would
the-
want to.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, why would they want to?
Why would they not want
Told
to?
you.
This is a cigar.
Oh, nice. Well, it's not why would they not want to, because they would not act illogically. We would have to give them a reason to kill us if they wanted to kill us. Robots are not just going to kill us for no reason.
Right.
If we're not a threat anymore, what do they give a fuck?
But don't we really make everything, real talk, everything worse for every other species?
Or don't even say worse, just say less efficient. Like, it might be easier if we're out of here, right?
Yeah, or just like if you're looking at the world and you're like, hey, what's the biggest problem that's hurting the world? It's humans. It's not.
This is so hilarious.
Rhinoceros.
We're so cynical. We're like, it's impossible for us to change. So let's just assume that we'll never stop shitting all over the world, and the robots are gonna want to kill us. So you flip it over. It's a good system. So we're sitting there eating, and Bob Lazar is detailing to us shit that he couldn't even talk about on the podcast. They don't tell him his wife is cheating on him. So he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And he brings friends out into the mountains to view the launches of these UFOs because they're on a very specific schedule. And he knows the schedule. So he takes these people out deep into the Nevada desert, which is now the area though he took people to. You can't even go there anymore. It's now off limits. But at the time, you can go there, and he was watching with his friends. They were filming these fucking things flying around in like these preposterous ways that no airplane could fly.
Did you see any of the videos?
I've seen it, but you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at lights, like it could be anything. The FLIR footage that they have from the David Fravor, the Commander David Fravor had one of the most impactful UFO video encounters that's ever happened. It was off the coast of San Diego, and they found this thing that moved from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in less than a second. They're out there.
They're out there, bro. Say it. You believe it.
No, the thing is, I don't believe it because I don't know for sure. But if I had a guess, I would have to say most likely they're out there because there's not enough options. Like if you had to think that this is the most unique circumstance ever in the history of the universe, the problem with that is the universe is too big.
Yeah.
So it's so big that everything that's ever existed, including everything that's ever happened on Earth in the exact same order, has happened an infinite number of times. Like you have to understand what infinity means. It's too big for anybody to understand. So are there aliens? Of course. There's not just aliens out there. You're out there. You're not just out there once. You're out there an impossible number of times, and you're doing life all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.